Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Althea Gordon, and I have a wonderfully talented group of people to my left today. A little bit, I guess, about us first as an organisation. So Mind the Change Inc., we work creatively with people who are living with dementia and their support networks. That could be families, it could be support workers, it could be residential or community care. And we like to, I guess, lead by example, come in as a creative team. We're not about putting round pegs in square holes. We come, we do a collaborative meeting, and we I guess, decide what it is that we can embark on. And this latest project, I think, really fits well with today's theme of the power and positivity of connection. We worked together with Mercy Place Mandurah, and we decided about nearly 18 months ago that we were going to put a live musical theatre show into a nursing home. And what we decided to do was set up a working group meeting. And so what we did was we had some family members, we had some residents, we had some staff, and some people representing Mind the Change. We sat down and we had a good chat about what it is we wanted to do. And we came to the conclusion that a musical would be good. We came to the conclusion nothing too heavy, so Les Mis was off the table. And then we thought something that could be easily related to, something that could involve children, and they were kind of the main descriptors that guided us on this project. After we got through that little, I guess, piece of crucial information, we then worked with Musical Theatre International, educating them on dementia. Yes, that is possible. And explained to them what we wanted to do and how we applied for the rights to perform a certified musical in a nursing home using that as our theatre. So today I've got myself and these guys here. I've just realised the clicker is over there. I'll just go get it. So I've got these guys who are going to help us, I guess, narrate the story that we are telling today about our production. And I also want to... There we go. Just quickly start by defining what we mean by creative arts. A lot of people, and don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with what I'm about to say. A lot of people think of creativity as arts and craft, and arts and craft is a part of creativity, but it's only a very small part. There is also looking at performance art. We're looking about song, dance, movement, music, poetry, photography. All of those avenues are a part of what we consider the creative arts. So, again, I just... there we go. Nice little slide there. Let's start at the very beginning. This is my own personal, I guess, starting point. For me, as a performing artist, yes, I studied here in WA, and then I moved into arts and health for children and realised there was such a broad spectrum of opportunities available for people. If you're looking at that art therapy, arts and health outlook for people under the age of 25, and if you want something for people over the age of 25 or even greater still over the age of 50, there isn't really a lot out there. And as Pip mentioned, yes, my mum is living with dementia, and when our world was turned upside down, our being my family's, I realised there isn't a lot at all for anybody wanting to do something the next level up. So there are a lot of people doing some fabulous work creatively in community care and residential care. But if you're looking to take it to that next level, maybe looking at something like a community theatre show, there isn't really a lot out there. And so we then decided to look at how we could form that as a framework to then repeat that process throughout WA and Perth. There we go. And another big thing that we like to address, specifically for people who are living with dementia, is apathy. So it's all very well to ask people to come into a dining room, to come and do an activity, to come and be a part of something that is taking place. However, a lot of people that you may work with or that you are familiar with may have this lack of motivation or perceived motivation. And for us, using performance and the creative arts, we find that's a really nice tool to engage people for a number of different reasons. And for me, it's all about increasing self-confidence and self-worth. If you believe that you are worth spending time, spending money, having fun with, then you are going to want to return and keep going. If you don't feel that connection, if you don't feel valued where you are, whether it's your workplace, whether it's life in general, you aren't going to, that desire to participate, to include yourself isn't going to be there. And I like to quote Dr. Alan Powers. I was very fortunate enough to tour with him in 2017. And I remember one thing he said, you don't wake up in the morning to take tablets, to eat breakfast, to sit on a couch, to take more tablets, to eat lunch, to go to the toilet, to then go to bed. You get up in the morning because you want to connect to people and you want to be a part of something bigger than yourself. And that has stuck with me, and that is at the core and the essence of what we do. We want to be that bigger part of somebody else's morning. We want to make that person feel like they are the best person in that room for every single reason that they have rocked up today. So, there we go. I'm not very good with clickers. There we go. And for us as well, looking at connection, it's not all about the verbal and the non-verbal. It's about what's on the inside as well. So someone may not be able to express how they are feeling or why they don't want to participate or why they do want to participate, but you can see in a variety of different ways what it is that makes them present and what turns on their light. So again, there we go. All right. Let me see. What did I put on this slide? Oh, yeah. That's good. So I'm going to stop waffling. I feel like I'm waffling. These people are the real stars here today. If you would like more information, there's some bits and pieces in the middle of the table from us, and we've also put one of our show programs in the middle of the table as well. And everything that we created to do with this production was done in consultation with the residents, the family members, and the staff. So it wasn't just the Althea bandwagon rolling in going, we should do this. The program that is situated in the middle of your tables was actually shown and chosen and designed by the residents and the staff, down to colours, down to what we needed to have in there, what content needed to be in there. They were all workshopped and basically developed by the residents, which was absolutely amazing. So also need to do a lovely big shout out to Healthway and for promoting the Act, Belong, Commit message. They are our major sponsor for this particular project, and obviously being acting, having a sense of belonging and having that connection is a big part of what Act, Belong, Commit is around for. So clicker. There we go. I'd like to now pass the microphone over to Helene, who is, that's it. She's a bit nervous, so you'll have to make her feel welcome. Helene is a lifestyle coordinator at Mercy Place Mandurah, and she was my right-hand lady. So I'm going to pass the microphone over to Helene. Please make her feel welcome.
Right, thank you for having me here today. My name is Helene Friend and I am part of the lifestyle team working at Mercy Place Mandurah. I have been involved with this project since it began last year and have seen a wonderful change in our residents. We have had residents with no cognitive deficit, but also with fairly advanced dementia, together participating in prop design, painting of the sets, costume making, and also in the play itself. It was initially difficult to engage residents, but over time and with familiarity of the production and Althea, residents were able to participate in what activity they chose. Paige was wonderful in engaging residents in dance and movement. A lot of the residents who will often sit and choose not to participate were engaged and getting themselves moving. There was a lot of laughter heard and a lot of smiles, and it was great to see. One gentleman who lives at Mercy Place wanders the halls daily. He has severe dysphagia, extremely short attention span, and doesn't normally participate in any formal activities. At the dress rehearsal, he followed the whole production through the home and even joined in singing the songs that he had heard being practiced over the previous months. He followed the play for the whole hour and a half and had the biggest smile on his face, which was lovely to see. It really made our day to see him so happy and smiling. Unfortunately, in aged care, the number of residents living with dementia is increasing, and we have found it particularly difficult in our home to engage these residents in many activities. This production has been wonderful, not only for being able to engage our residents in song, movement, creativity and fine motor skills, but to also give them a sense of purpose and to have a sense of belonging with the wider community. Thank you.
Thank you, Helene. Okay, and please, we've got some images up as our guests are talking today. So here you can see a number of the residents participating in some of the prop making. So we've had multiple different props. So there's a lady in the middle who's holding a cane. We had a hat and cane number, so they needed to be made. We also had, being a year with Frog and Toad, animals, so we made some animal masks. And then we also had some part of the set being designed in the top there. There was a riverbank scene, so those guys are actually making the reeds that featured in the riverbank scene. Now going to pass on to Amelia Newman. She is a cast member, and I will let her explain the rest.
Hi, my name's Amelia and I'm 11 years old and in my last year of primary school. I found out about A Year with Frog and Toad and Mind the Change through my music teacher at school. We were at choir and she gave me a flyer and I read about it. And I was told that there was a production going on at Mercy Place. And we had been there as a choir to go sing Christmas carols and songs there quite a few times. And then I went for an audition and I saw all the residents come and it was so, welcoming and so nice to see them there. And I auditioned and I got the part of Mouse and Young Frog. And so at the time I didn't know that the residents were going to be involved in the production, and I thought, wow, that's really cool and it sounds like one of a kind and things like that. And so the reason why I actually wanted to get involved in the first place was because it connects two of my passions, acting and community. And then we started going through the whole thing. Just let me check my piece of paper. Okay, so I think the program was good for the residents because they were involved and they were a key part of the production. They were doing the choreography, they were making the reefs, things like that for the swamp scene, and it was really cool to see them laughing and having a good time. I think we all had a really good connection, the cast and the residents, because we all had this one goal, to have a good show, and we achieved it. but we did it all together. That's the main part. We all connected as one, as a big community. So my experience after the whole show had finished was that I want to do it over and over and over again. I think it should be made a thing throughout Australia and even the whole world. And it was really good. I'll never forget it.
Thank you, Amelia. I got so taken by her, I forgot to press the clicker. Here we go. So this is actually a photograph of one of our rehearsals with Paige. You may notice there's a lot of chairs involved. We did a lot of chair dancing, and for those who have not done chair dancing, I challenge you to do a session. It is exhausting beyond belief. You may think it's easy, but it really isn't. You get quite hot and quite sweaty. So that was teaching our principal cast how to do chair dancing. And we've also got here a couple of rehearsal photos of our production in the nursing home. So before we actually did the show, we did some rehearsals. We were doing rehearsals separate. So we were doing a rehearsal on a Monday and a Friday on site, so in the nursing home with the residents. Then we were doing a rehearsal on a Tuesday evening with the principal cast, of which Amelia was a part of. And then we also did a conjoined rehearsal on a Sunday afternoon with everybody. So everybody worked on their sort of separate parts throughout the week, and then on the Sunday we came together and sort of put it all together. Alrighty, next. Here we go. She's going, oh no. I found all the things that she can do. So this is Paige. I'll let you do the reading. But Paige was our choreographer. She is a fountain of knowledge and an absolute inspiration to all of our residents in getting them moving and exploring what dance can actually mean other than putting on a tutu and a tiara.
Lovely. Thank you, Althea. Thank you, everyone, for joining us all together on stage. It's lovely. And thank you for being here today. So I was brought into this wonderful production a year with the Frog and Toad as the choreographer and movement director. And interestingly, I was introduced and worked with the residents at Mercy Place well before I'd met the cast. In fact, I actually said to Althea, is this for real? Is this like legit? Do you really have cast members that you're working with? Because I was having such a great time with the residents and I didn't meet the cast till well into the process. So as Althea said, my background is in dance. I graduated from WAPA. I've worked with a number of companies and projects around the country, including WA Ballet, Merrill Tankard Company, Buzz Dance Theatre. So I've had a very privileged dance career, and I feel like since I turned 40, I guess, I feel like it's time to give back. So I have been using the art form of dance and working in dance and health projects. So I, to this day, I remain endlessly fascinated by the processes in dance, making, teaching, choreographing, facilitating, and I have remained part of the dance ecology where I believe there is a place for everyone to be. So, as I said, I began facilitating dance and health projects about 15 years ago, and I lead a project called Tracksuit, which is adults experiencing disability, and I've been working with them for 10 years through Dada. I've also created a couple of dance in hospital programs for the Bentley Adolescent Unit and PMH Ward 4. And 5 years ago, I trained in Dance for Parkinson's syllabus, which is essentially seated dance classes based on the structure of a ballet class, but all seated. And then there are aspects of it where you can use the back of the chair for a plie exercise, support, and then depending on the participants, you can do an across the floor sequence. But this whole idea of a seated dance class is very, very exciting to me. So when Althea approached me to work with the residents of Mercy Place, I was like, yes, that would be very cool. I would like to get involved. So it's been a wonderful thing. The benefits of dance is well known, and there's a growing body of international research and evidence validating the importance of dance as exercise in the maintenance of our well-being, physically, cognitively and socially. And as well as all of the academic research, dance classes are just simply all about joy. There is something magical and wonderful in the transfer of dance that just makes lives better. It improves the quality of life. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this production and how we went ahead with making the choreography, because the choreography wasn't imposed on the residents. It was definitely made collaboratively with the residents. And I'm really hoping, while I'm talking for the next minute, you can just shuffle yourself around and get ready to do a couple of the moves, because everyone's going to participate. Okay, so in order to build the choreography, we first generated the movement, and this was created by a number of residents. This process is really important because it engages immediately with the participants and engages immediately with their ownership of the moves, and they become the dancer. So we created some moves, we named the moves, we all learnt the moves, and then we laid them down in a sequence, which then became the choreography for the show. And the residents performed in 3 dances in that show. So one of which was a short dance with some jazzy hands numbers after the swamp scene. There was another one, as Althea said, with the hat and the canes. That was a really long dance, and that was done with 2 cast members, the 2 lead cast members. And the final was a ballet, the Snow Ballet, which was done with all the cast and the residents, and even some in audiences got involved, didn't they? So that was really good. Now, I want to teach you the Sylvia, which is a move generated by the lovely Sylvia. Is that all right, Sylvia, if we teach everyone in the room the Sylvia? Okay, that's right. Yeah. Well, we'll try it first, and then we can show you, and you can tell us if we did the Sylvia correctly. All right. So everyone, I'd like you to join and get yourself comfortable. I will teach you 2 other moves, and then the Sylvia. So the first move we've got is the Jeanette. So it starts with our hands nice and low like this. And good. And I've got one hand as a microphone, so you can just do it. Yeah, so it just goes to the right and to the left. So a little 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Brilliant. Isn't that good? Let's also learn the Maureen. So this is where hands were alternated back and forth. Ready? Let's go. 6, 7, 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Lovely, really nice. Now, there was also the D. Now, D wasn't able to move too much, but she certainly had a lot of sparkle in her eyes. So let's add the D, everyone. Sparkle, eyebrows up, really, something magic going on there. Let's add the D to the Maureen. 6, 7, 8 and 1. And 2, sparkle eyes, da da da, da da, da da, da da da, da 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 da. Excellent! Just like that, magic is created. Finally, we come to the Sylvia. Now, this takes a little bit of elegance, and it was not easy to do for everyone. Would you like to demonstrate first, Sylvia? 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, da da da. Other side and 1, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4. Wow! Give her a clap. That was amazing. All right, let's see if we can try the Sylvia. Okay, so one hand goes forward. It doesn't matter which side, but one hand goes up high and the other one's a bit lower, and you get a nice line. Look at the line. See if you can get the line. Beautiful. And then you slowly contract back to neutral. Da da da. Other side. Out the line, look up to your hand. Oh, yes, and then back in. All right, let's do it to count. 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and in. Da, da. Other side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and in. Da. Give yourselves a clap. Woo! So that's just a little example of how the movement was generated. A Year with the Frog and Toad was a wonderful production, and we were very privileged to work with the residents and all the staff. We've got a lot to reflect on, and we learnt a lot as well. And I think key was never schedule a performance on the AFL Grand Final day. That was key. But I look forward to doing more work with Althea and her organisation Mind the Change, and I'm really, really excited. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paige. And I think that is exactly a brilliant illustration of what I was trying to say, not so eloquently earlier, in that none of this performance was imposed on the residents. It was all led by the residents. Again, I've got some more photos here we can see. The picture on the left is our toad. Believe it or not, that's a dining room. Behind those two flats are dining room tables and chairs. And then in the rather brightly coloured picture to the right, that is our swamp scene. And that is just a small lounge that was off one of the corridors. We put a little bit of green lighting in there, a little bit of costumes, a little bit of scenery. And you can probably see a few residents around the edge of the room. They were in the river and they were doing some of the gorgeous moves that you just did yourselves then. Again, you can see here the picture on the left, you can see how a little bit better we put things together. The other thing that I need to say as well, this was a travelling show. Often when you go to the theatre or you experience a performance, you as the audience sit still and everything happens in front of you, including scene changes. Something that we realised really on in the piece, was that we couldn't do those scene changes as quickly as a traditional theatre piece may be performed. So the idea was we move the audience and we keep our scenes stationary. That meant as many residents as possible could actually participate. So we had 5 different areas throughout the nursing home, and we took the audience from place to place, and our gorgeous cast, including our leads, stayed stationary at each of those places, and that allowed more people to actually partake. And last but not least, we have our gorgeous Sylvia. Sylvia is a lovely resident at Mercy Place. She has captured the hearts of everyone who is a part of the Frog and Toad production. And we've invited her here today because I think it's really important that we firstly thank you for taking part, but also hear from you what this experience has meant.
Thank you for having me here today to talk to you about the Frog and Toad production and how it has impacted my life. My name is Sylvia Wilcock, and I have called Mercy Place, Mandurah, my home for over 4 years now. I suffer from the effects of severe Parkinson's disease, and despite not having dementia, found myself to be despite having not dementia, I have found myself to be self-isolating and not participating as much as activities I used to enjoy. Sorry about that. In my earlier life, I was involved in many choirs and have even sung for Pope John Paul and Princess Diana. Singing and performing was, and still is, a passion of mine. I have had many opportunities to do this since being diagnosed with Parkinson's due to limitations with my mobility and the loss of volume in my voice. Let's show them what I can do. This production, however, has given me the opportunity to perform again. Thank you. I would eagerly await Monday and Friday for our rehearsals. I was involved in making some of the set designs and costumes, but I was also cast as a choir member. I performed in all 8 shows and thoroughly enjoyed myself whilst doing it. By the 8th show, I was absolutely I promised to behave. Exhausted. But I would certainly do it all over again. I have seen Althea, Paige, Helene, and other staff members be enthusiastic, and they have been able to engage each resident who don't normally participate in activities. I have seen smiles on the faces of those participating in the production, and even in those who are just quietly observing. It was the smiles and the laughter, as well as being able to look like my younger self, that they made me feel like a younger self, that made this production worth it. Sorry about this. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and follow my footstep.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Sylvia. Thank you so much, Sylvia. Oh, sorry. Got a little bit emotional there. Yes, so I've got a small clip of a video we've put together. We are actually going to be making a small documentary on the process of how this came to be. Unfortunately, though, we only finished the show on Sunday. So this small snippet has been put together so that I guess you can see through pictures and videos what transpired. Obviously, we don't do this every month. It does take, like I said, it took about 18 months to put this together, but we'd like to show you a small video now, and then all of us are open to any questions or comments that you may like to ask of us after the presentation. I will say that we've put a flyer on the tables as well if you'd like more information or to get in touch. And if you like something that is available in the community, Mind the Change is working with the Leicester Group as part of the Leicester Prize, formerly known as the Black Swan Portrait Competition. And we are actually doing creative workshops for those living with dementia at the Art Gallery of WA. There is a series of 4 of them, and they will actually be free in November. So it looks like this. There's also a blue one. They're the same. The Leicester Group just got creative. So feel free to take those and, hook in to some free creativity. But now I'd just like to show you our video, and we'll have some quick questions and comments afterwards. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Samantha Ferguson, and I'm playing a bird in Youth for Toad. I think I'm really excited about this project. I've never done anything like it before. When I first spoke with Althea about it, I was super excited, and you can just tell how much she loves it as well. And I think everyone should be able to enjoy the arts, and everyone should be able to pursue their passions and things like that. And I think this project is a big way of kind of letting everyone know that everyone should have access to the arts and should be able to perform and should be able to engage, and it's never too late to start and never too early to start. And yeah.
Hi, my name's RP, and I just really wanted to get involved in this project because I just wanted to take my performance to another level and actually do it for other people and do it to serve the community. And so I just took this opportunity really because I was approached by one of my friends, and she really just told me about this passion project, and yeah, I kind of just grabbed it, and yeah, I'm really excited to meet the community and kind of see where we go from there. And I really want to form some bonds and relationships with not only the people in the home but also the people performing with me. So I'm just really excited.
So my name is Lincoln Tapping, and I'm super excited to be in the show because it's something that's very different than anything I've done before. I've been doing community theatre since I was about 10, and now I've just kind of decided that with uni and with work I want to stop doing shows just for the sake of it and start doing things I'm passionate about. So I felt like this was a good place to start.
I'm really hoping that we kind of all form kind of close relationships, and I think it'll be more than just putting on a show. It'll be like forming connections and putting on a show at the same time. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm sure that everyone will kind of have fun and jump in, and yeah, I think it'll be like a really nice thing to do, all of us together, people from different walks of life and different ages and backgrounds all coming together, which is what the arts is.
I mean, I really hope that the people at the Mercy Place will really have a hands-on role in the whole production, and that not only they will like perform and help us kind of bring the show together, but that we can also kind of allow them to have that role, and kind of like by building relationships with them, that we can kind of allow them to have that hands-on role, that we kind of, yeah, the main thing I want to really say is that I want to build that relationship with them, and so that's kind of the role I want them to have for me as well. So really get to know them. Like it's a big thing for me to gain awareness of, you know, dementia and like what that means for them, and so yeah, I guess that's the main part. Yeah.
I've worked with similar groups before through school music and just through family, and I found that when there's music and drama involved, they just want to get involved, and I think it's the sweetest thing, and I just love it. So hopefully they do that. Just come act with us.
Had one lot, so yeah, we know what's going to happen.
That's it, yeah. We've been through it before, so absolutely. Yeah, no, I think it'll be good. It's always good to
They don't know what they're going to get, do they?
That's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Absolutely. No,
Thanks.
yeah. They don't know what they're in for.
How much have they paid for the set?
For the tickets?
Yes.
They pay $30.
Oh God, we're not $30 worth, are we?
Oh, absolutely
I reckon they're getting a bargain.
Yeah,
That's right.
They're getting the vote, alright.
I reckon I might bring them up afterwards and be like, would you like an autograph? It's only $10. I can make a little bit of money on the side.